name's Seth Killian. I originally come from Chicago. I just moved out to Santa Monica, and for the fighting game community, I used to be relevant, and I'm not anymore. No, I moved over to Sony, and I'm going to be working with the M.W.D team on PlayStation All-Stars, which should be cool, but I had a long history at Capcom, and before that, as a competitor and organizer. So, prior to joining Capcom, I was basically on track for an academic career. So I was teaching teaching college at the University of Illinois, mostly in the philosophy department. And that's something that takes a lot of schooling and training, so I basically had a big investment in sort of one very specific track. And when I had the opportunity to join Capcom, I actually turned it down until I heard about the Street Fighter 4 project. And the Street Fighter 4 project was one of those things that I wasn't really sure if it would be successful, but I knew if I had the chance to work on it and didn't take it, I would think about it every day of my whole life. So I wanted to make sure I didn't have a life full of regrets, so I had to jump on board and try and make Street Fighter 4 as successful as I could help make it be. Working at Capcom, yes, definitely a very Japanese company with our development, at least on the fighting titles, handled primarily out of Japan. And obviously there's a language barrier there, there's time barriers, there's cultural barriers, so all those things contributed to make things challenging, but I always felt very blessed by the teams who were very open with me and very engaging, so I would not have been able to do any of the things I did without their goodwill and their interest in hearing about sort of a Western perspective and my thoughts on what was going on. And you know, I wasn't able to call the shots, and maybe that was a good thing, but it's nice to be a voice at the table and to feel that kind of respect, which I think had been a thing we hadn't really seen before in Capcom history. So hopefully we made some better games and also really opened up the development cycle to the community and provided those kind of feedback routes that I think helps make sure the games are what the people who play them most want them to be. Part of my shift definitely was motivated by my interest in focusing more purely on design, which at Capcom, I mean, they've got Western studios now that are working on you know, great games, but to work on fighting games and things like that, primarily coming out of Japan, would have been a challenge. So Sony Santa Monica, in my view, is one of the greatest studios in the world, and to have a purely design opportunity there as a lead game designer was something basically, again, like I couldn't pass up. So I don't know what you're asking me about my career ambitions. I don't know if I have career ambitions so much. It's just, I think it's a super exciting time for games, and I want to make as many great games as we can. And more specifically for me, I want to see great games in progress and make them really shine and have great polish. So if I can be a part of that, that's something I find very personally satisfying, and that's really where my goals are set right now. Why Santa Monica Studios? Basically, there's just a lot of awesome people there, some of whom I've known for a long time, many of whom are extremely talented, although not necessarily very well known, but extremely talented and worthy of being better known. On the God of War team, there's a lot of great combat designers. On the M.W.D team, there's a lot of great combat designers. So combat designers make me feel at home. But the other thing really was the range of products they work on. So obviously, I was excited to start with PlayStation All-Stars and be able to try and work a little bit on that title. But Santa Monica does not just sort of big AAA games like All-Stars or like a God of War, but they also do like smaller games like Unfinished Swan or Journey and things like that, which is a different side of gaming, but I think one of the areas with some of the most interesting ideas, sort of the most forward-looking ideas, and a lot of really cool people as well. So for me in life, a lot comes down to the people you're working with, and Santa Monica just has a really incredible group there that I felt very strongly about, so that's why I wanted to call it my new home. So my involvement with All-Stars right now, it's really just my first week. So we're really just getting off the ground, but the game is also coming out in October. So it's not going to be a huge development span, but one of the things I'm particularly personally interested in is balancing, and that's something we'll be able to do right up to the point of release, as well as making some system changes. So those are things that we're discussing right now, and hopefully we'll have some good productive arguments about all of that. And I'll tell them what I think, and they'll tell me what they think, and we'll hopefully find some interesting balance in the middle. But Superbot has taken the game to where it is now, and I think they've done an amazing job building the backbone and sort of a new way of looking at fighting in some respects. So I just want to try and help put as much shine and polish on that as we can, and try and make the game hopefully, number one, fun, and then if we're able to get into a really strong competitive place as well, that would be fantastic. And that's what everybody at the studio is really sort of looking towards, just because they're all very serious competitive gamers. A lot of that's what they love to do best. So they want to build a game that they're proud of and that they want to play, and I think that's what gives us the best chance right now. So my dream fighting game. Yeah, I think for me personally, I like working best with sort of systems that I see already, and then trying to polish and balance those systems. But when I was a kid, I had a dream of just making a one character fighting game with just sort of an incredible amount of complexity on the character, or not complexity so much as depth, ideally. I think it was a little silly now that I look back on it, so I don't know if that would really work out, or if people would have any interest in a one character fighting game. But that was probably one of my early dreams. Now, we'll see. Maybe I'll try and make an All-Stars franchise where it can be. Maybe I get some of my dreams in there. But I don't dream big or well. I just like to balance and polish. My favorite EVO moment. That is an extremely difficult question. Honestly, for me, this sounds a little bit corny, but every EVO, we've been lucky enough to have those amazing moments, and to see the stage set and to see those things erupt organically from so many incredible players going hard at it is really thrilling to me. But this is the corny part. To me, EVO is about the competition and these sort of amazing players doing amazing things under amazing circumstances. But what I worry about every year is, as the event grows and grows, I worry about the connection between the players, because for as amazing as that competition is, I think what really cements the fighting game community together is those connections between people. And as something grows, sometimes you lose those kind of connections and that interconnectivity, where you're not coming just to see an event, but you're coming to see your friends, you're coming to hang out, and be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I think being a part of something bigger than yourself is really what it's all about for EVO. So that's probably my EVO moment, to see that sort of survives year after year, is my favorite thing. So now that I'm not working at Capcom, will you see me compete again? The shortest answer to that is yes. I've been drafted into a Super Turbo tournament against some of the best players in the US and Japan in about 5 minutes. So I don't know if that's the best way to jump back into competition. I expect to get blown up pretty bad, but hopefully I go down swinging. I need to try and strike a good balance where I can play and also stay on top of my job. And I'm an older guy now, but I do miss competition, so I think you'll see me once in a while. I don't know about top 8, but I'll do my best. Maybe I can get back there again.